The most innovative company I ever worked for, without a doubt, Procter & Gamble. Because they were number one and everybody's chasing you. And when people are chasing you, you run that bit faster. And that's why I was delighted to hear that you guys are so keen on innovation, despite the fact that you've been 11 years or 12 years or whatever is on the trot, voted number one city. It's so important that we stay ahead in Edinburgh. And I speak as an Edinburgh resident who's passionate. I worked at BA and Eurostar in London. I continued living in Edinburgh and I commuted. Why? Because I love this city and I love living here. And I'm delighted that you guys are going to keep innovating, because I think it's absolutely critical not to rest on our laurels as being the number one. Very different, but there's one thing in common, which you've heard in the title of my speech, I guess, a bit already, which is this. I became a big believer that if you want to break through, if we really want to, we're already number one. If we want to take Edinburgh to the next stage, we've got to start looking outside our current environment for ideas. If we just look at other cities, other places that are in the tourism type area or within the sort of hospitality type arena, yeah, we might learn some things, but we're still just catching up. We're doing the same as other people. Big breakthroughs that I've seen come when organisations or industries are willing to look outside, find new ideas and bring them in. So what we were taught at Procter & Gamble is control the controllable. Don't spend your time getting heartache about all these things going on out there. Think about your business. And there's 4 areas you need to think about your business with what we were taught. Understand the customer better than anybody else. Turn that into a clear customer promise, then decide what the implications are for that for product and service, and then for communication. And I'm going to pick a lesson from each one of the 4 of them that I picked up on the way through, which are about us and our businesses, and almost forget what's going on in the wider world, because we can't influence that. What we can do is build our own businesses. So you change your model, you simplify the products, you change the way you present it, and you go from that to something like this. There's a summer sale on personal loans going on. This is the offer of the month on travel insurance, etc. You've changed the model. What have you done? You've dumbed down the product, in inverted commas, that's what the bank told us we had done, and changed the way you present it. Based on what? Data? Evidence? Big business case? No. Based on understanding what mood people are in when they walk in the store. And you do it in 1 store, and if it works, you do it in 5, and you do it in experiment, try things. P&G, we used to have more test markets going on than anywhere else. Because the whole point was, if you've got a good idea, and you think it's a good idea, and you believe it's a good idea, go and try it somewhere. Don't wait to build the business case and tell everybody. The best way to sell people on something is to try it out on a small scale and see if it works. So we did that in 1 store and it went through the roof, so we did it more. Don't forget that every time you write a questionnaire, every time you do a little checklist about what you're going to find out about your customers, what have you done? You've narrowed the scope of what you're going to see, because you've now decided what you're looking for. So although it's important to do all those sorts of things, equally important sometimes is to go in with a blank sheet of paper, go and have a look at the customer's experience and just find out for yourself what it's like. For me, terms like better, best, first, the only, being the key to things are absolutely critical. When you write a customer promise, you don't just write, if you use Flash, the household cleaner, you will be able to clean your house quickly and easily. No, the strategy says, if you use Flash, you will be able to clean your house quicker and easier than any other household cleaner. In other words, we're not saying we're just going in that direction, we're saying the goal is there, and anything short of that is failure. And I think it's really important that we set that. And I'm going to just do a little illustration of that. Could I borrow you 2 gentlemen? Would you mind coming and join me up at the moment? And would you 2 mind coming and join me just for a second? I promise you, it's very, very quick, very easy. It's got to be quick because I'm 2 minutes behind my timing at the moment. All you're going to do is you're going to start with the ball. You're going to touch it against that cone, okay? Then we're going to pass the ball along the line. When you get it, you touch it against that cone. Then we pass it all the way back again. And when you get it, you touch against that cone. End of process, okay? Very simple process. Off we go. No great speed on it, just to see how long it takes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that was about 10 seconds. Great. I'm going to set you a challenge this time, okay? If I said to you, you did it in 10 seconds. If I asked you to do it in 9.5 because you've had a practice, do you think you can do that? Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Failed. Okay? Last challenge then. So we failed on the challenge of getting down from 10 to 9.5, so I hate to think how you're going to cope with the last challenge I'm going to give you now. And the last challenge is as follows. I'd like the whole process, start to finish, please, done in less than half a second. Less than half a second, start to finish. You can ask me any questions you like about the rules or anything like that. You can challenge, you can do what you want. What are you going to do? Less than half a second then, guys?
You touch it and pass it to me?
Yeah, not bad. Can you speed up a bit? Just let's do. Yeah, that'll do. It's close enough. Right, okay. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Thanks a lot. It'll do. It's close enough, isn't it? Right. What happened there? The reason I do that one is look, when I said to you, what went through your, when I said to you for 10 seconds, when I said to you 9.5 seconds, what went through your heads? I said, do you think you could do it in 9.5 seconds? I know what was going through your heads, because I'll tell you, all 4 of you nodded, because I was watching. You all thought you could do it, didn't you? Okay, we had a little bit of a mishap, but never mind. But you knew you could do it, okay? What happened when I said to you, do it in less than half a second? What went through your heads? Can't do it. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to change something, aren't we? We're going to have to change the way. We cannot do it by doing it the way we did it before, particularly the second time we did it. But anyway, we can't do it that way. And that's what happens in innovation, and it's certainly what happens with customer promises, okay, guys? If our staff or ourselves look at the challenge we're setting and think to ourselves, we can achieve that by doing things the way we've always done them, but just working a bit harder at it or a bit faster at it, okay? That's the default position that we'll all go to. Why? Because it's comfort. It's what we've always done. It's what we know how to do. And that's what we do as individuals, and it's certainly what our teams do. Our job in leading the businesses is to set the ambition in such a way that it's not over the horizon out of sight, but by looking at it, people think, that's quite an exciting place to be, but guess what? Today's product and service doesn't get us there, or today's behaviour doesn't get us there. We're going to have to change something in order to get there. And that's why how you set the ambition is quite important. It's not just have a benefit statement and a reason to believe, but actually make it stretching enough that your own people look at it and think, exciting, but I personally have got to change. And if your own staff don't say, I have got to change, you probably won't get innovation. You might get a bit of improvement, but you won't get real innovation. Real innovation comes when people realise it's actually quite exciting to change. But very best of luck. It's a fantastic progress you guys have made in the last 20 years watching that charts this morning. And I wish you the very, very best of luck as we go forward. Thanks a lot.